Hi, Dr. B here. Welcome to Dr. B Uncensored, where we interview candid thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and founders to tell their story to inspire others to do the same. Hopefully, you enjoyed this episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of my podcast. I am Dr. B Heidelberg. I'm here with the great Wes Towers. Wes, how are you, sir?
Very well, Dr. B. Good to be here nice and early. The sun's just rising for me, so good to start the day. Already all coffeeed up, fueled up, ready to rock and roll. So,
And for me, it's vice versa. It's the end of the day. I'm trying after you. I'm getting a little one, so all good. That's the beauty of Zoom, right? You can do it for
yeah,
anywhere.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Good to
Good
be here.
man.
Thanks so much.
Not let's jump right into it, man. Tell everyone about yourself and your journey, how you went from figuring things out on the job to building a successful digital marketing agency.
Yeah, so I'm Wes Towers here in just outside of Melbourne in Australia, in a place called Geelong. So reasonably small town, I would say. But yeah, we do website design, we do SEO, search everywhere optimization, we're calling it now, and we do it. Our niche is the trades and the construction industry, uh, all over the world, really. Mostly in Australia because that's where we are, but we serve clients in our niche all around the globe. So it's good, as you say, to be able to do things online these days.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna jump into it now, man. So you spent over 20 years helping build businesses grow online. What are some of the biggest lessons you learned from, from being in the trenches that people can still apply today?
Yeah, well, I mean, I learned a lot of things the hard way, I suppose, in from a business context. So I studied graphic design, multimedia back in the 90s. I finished high school in the 90s. Oh yeah, finished uni in the 90s as well. So it's got my first job in the year 2000 in Sydney, and so I studied graphic design, multimedia. Websites weren't really a thing back then. Well, they were, but not for every small business. I got a job in marketing. They won a job to do a website. They've never designed a website. That's how far marketing has evolved since I started in the year 2000. They only had one computer connected to the internet. It was a dial-up modem. Everyone shared the same email. Things have changed dramatically, but they won a website project and they said, well, right, you're the young guy. You better figure out how to build this site. So thrown in the deep end in that project. They were really gracious, gave me plenty of time to figure out how to do it. Gave me some training as well and so on. And I did that first website through that marketing company, became their website person, and on it goes to starting my own business. And again, naive in starting business, I had no idea how to run a business, I hadn't done client meetings or anything like that. So to learn how to sell, to engage with clientele, I was really confident in my skill set to build websites and design, but I had no idea how to run a business. So really learned in the trenches, learning the hard way and figuring it out. So, I mean, some best lessons learned in those early days, and now things I can kind of help new businesses starting out, particularly in the trades and construction niche. When I see a young person starting business, and I can help them in a whole bunch of ways that I learned in those early days as well.
Why the construction industry? Is it because you think it's overlooked, or maybe tell me a little bit about that? How'd you jump into that?
Yeah, well, it was by accident in a lot of ways. So we were doing websites for anyone and everybody, and graphic design as well when I first started. Because when you're starting out, you just take any work you can get. Well, that's what I experienced. You just have to take on whatever you can, and you evolve from there. But everyone kind of said to niching was important, and it's the best way to market. And I kind of knew that from a practical standpoint because I saw it so often and frequently, but it was still a difficult and brave decision to eventually make. The way I came across my niche, the construction industry, was a lot of my best clients were in that space. And for whatever reason, and I can't really precisely know why, but I seem to engage really well with that type of person, and the pragmatic, practical, hands-on. The founders, they work their way up on tools, so to speak. So they're really practical, and it's good to come alongside these kind of people to get stuff done. Oftentimes, we're working through a marketing person within these organizations, so we understand where the boss is coming from a practical standpoint, but also the marketing person, and come alongside and support them. I find it a really exciting space. But it is interesting. It's got its own challenges. Often the people won't be particularly tech savvy. So that's a massive advantage in some ways because we can bring tremendous value to the industry that's often overlooked by other companies like ours.
Let's say like your niche is the construction industry. Like let's say if a construction business is listening, what should be some of the first things they do when it comes to digital marketing?
Yeah, well, and this sort of aligns to the way they think in some ways. So the clarity over the tricky sort of cleverness, I suppose. So clarity over cleverness. So if you're really clear and concise and compelling in the way in which you communicate precisely what you do to the end client through your website, people are so rushed online, so that if there's too much noise and distraction, well, they'll just miss your message. But if it's really compelling, it says precisely what you do, how you do it, and verifies the quality of what you're providing, making it super simple for people to engage with you. So if it's our clients are often just looking for the phone call or to have the contact form filled in as a first port of call. So those types of things, it's super simple, but people complicate things far too much. When we're working with them, we like to get some quick wins straight off the bat. There's oftentimes, if they've also already got a website, we can see right away what's not quite right and fix those issues and get them launched in a far more powerful way to get the leads flowing through, if that's what they're wanting to do, convert some of that traffic into actual business being conducted. There's lots of things that go wrong with a website over the course of years. You build a website today, and in a couple of years' time, there'll be something not quite right, simply because technology changes, but also businesses evolve. So the messaging might not be quite right. So distilling that down and having something practical that serves the business is really important.
So something practical such as a website for someone who's in the construction business. Does like stuff like lead magnet, things that retargeting, does that all work? For I mean, I guess for any industry, right? But does it work for the construction industry as well?
To a degree, so there's the marketing method, which is more of a direct response marketing strategy where you might have a lead magnet and so on, and the goal is to build your email database so you can market to them effectively through email or even SMS if you can. That works really well for a lot of businesses. For our clientele, not as much. And the reason being is these are kind of, it depends on the nature of the business, but if it's a slightly bigger scale service offering, then people are requesting proposals, quotes, and they might be getting three quotes, and it might be the decision maker all the time if it's B2B requesting the quote. So the lead magnet may not be the right approach. It depends on who the end customer is. So realistically, what we're trying to achieve is to get the inquiry for the proposal. Now, also the other challenge too, AI is changing the way in which we research. So just even a few years ago, when information wasn't so readily available, the people would search online, they'd go to Google, they'd search for what they're looking for. Maybe they find a lead magnet, they take that lead magnet because it serves the need of research to some. Well, that information is being revealed in AI platforms these days. So there's less need to download that free lead magnet. And the other challenge with the lead magnet is people know it's not really free. They know that they're giving up part of their private information for that exchange of value. So yeah, we're seeing less and less lead magnets being effective, but more quality, substantial content being published in a website that attracts people that AI can glean the information from and reveal that information within, the Google AI overview. If you're lucky enough for your brand to show up as the leading or in that overview, then that's powerful. Or to show up in ChatGPT, to be seen as the leading authority in the space you play in, and then to get the inquiry off the back of that. That's the real game changer we're seeing since AI has sort of evolved.
Yeah, ChatGPT and AI in general has changed the game when it comes to copywriting, when it comes to prompts, when it comes to spell check, when it comes to being found, or when it comes to your assistant, right? All that stuff. So I
Yeah,
agree. I agree 100% there. Talk
yeah.
to me.
Yeah, go on.
No, no, talk to me about how, no problem. Talk to me how like SEO could be overwhelming for folks. How can you explain it in a way that that it makes sense for folks? Like how important is SEO?
Yeah, so we're calling it search everywhere optimization simply because not everyone's jumping on a search engine anymore, SEO. There's lots of different acronyms being thrown around for the similar service, but it really is a way in which you can fuel AI. It's educating AI, so it's training AI on your behalf. So AI is pulling the information from all sorts of places online. Might as well be your website. So might as well be your brand being mentioned when people are having conversations, because it's really conversational type of scenario where people are not searching just for the service and the location. So Plumber Melbourne, they're not necessarily searching like that anymore, but they're having a conversation with ChatGPT or whatever AI platform they choose, or they're even searching for more specific niches on Google. So there's two aspects of the website. So the concise and compelling message on your main sales pages, so people really understand what you do, who you do it for, why they should choose you. But then the substantial content behind the scenes, which is typically in your blog or your news, which answers all those professional topics, which might be gleaned upon from various places online, so you show up in the right places at the right time, and the blog is effectively the best way to do it. So it's those answering those needs that people might be searching for. So you show up in your local region if it's a local business. It's really not as complicated as what people sometimes like to make it sound. People sometimes it feels overwhelming and scary, but realistically, it's not. It's about publishing a unique, a compelling message that's unique to you. So you got to get your voice right, how you say things, website, but your unique message as well. So what is unique in your business that no one else does that sets you apart, really. So and having a clear and specific niche, just like we do, we have a niche. But every business should have their specific niches because it's so much easier to market and be found and be known as the authority and expert in a narrow, defined niche market.
I agree 100%. Like as an example, when I first started my revamping of my coaching program, right? I decided to help, coaches consultants elevate their business through networking in 90 days. Now, the market wasn't responding to that. So as I was going through the motions and talking to my mentors, I was like, they were like, what's one thing that you've done that for sure people will respond to it, and for sure it's access to capital and teaching folks how to raise, right? And as soon as I made that pivot, I started
Yeah.
getting more traction, more sales, and goes goes. I agree with you 100%. Goes to your point, like once you have a niche, right, for whatever product or service you may have, it makes it a lot easier to kind of put together your marketing and all that stuff. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and with AI and how it can produce content at mass at scale, super easy these days. So much generic content out there. And so when you're trying to be broad and target everything, you end up kind of just being like everybody else and publishing generic information, which is not adding any value to the conversation. But when you drill into something really specific, you're getting really granular in the messaging and you're targeting someone really specific. So when they read your message, they know you're the super perfect fit. And you're the only logical choice, which is the ideal outcome for any marketing. Once you're considered the only logical choice, well, then it's no longer about price. It's about get the value you provide in other ways. So yeah, really, really important these days with so much content out there.
I love it. I love it. Hey man, wanted to small pivot, really along the same
Yeah,
lines of the topic. I was having this conversation yesterday with someone, talking about building trust online, right? So they compare the sales and marketing to like the marriage, right? You're not gonna marry the person on the first date, right? It's all about creating that synergy and building that trust online. I think the gentleman I was talking to, ironically, is a video guy, right? So he
yeah,
helps folks put together videos for like, which it could be everything from like testimonials to having individuals, having you provide value, right? So I
Mm.
always say to my people, it's always about when you do your videos or any content, it's like 80 to 90% value and then 10% asking for the sale. So like what do you do like to help folks build trust online for your clientele?
Yeah, it's super, super important these days because anyone can kind of fake it. So authenticity and trust is super important. There's just a lack of trust in general for marketing materials. So anything that a third party is writing on your behalf about your is far more powerful than what you publish of your own because we only say glowing things about our own businesses. But once you're starting to get fantastic Google reviews, for example, they're really hard to fake. Some people try to do the fake reviews, but you end up getting found out and banned by Google and a whole bunch of things. It's not a good path to go down. So the Google reviews, any reviews really, there's lots of reviewing platforms, testimonials, anything that builds trust and authority in your brand and reputation. But even just the authenticity, you mentioned the video person, the there's something powerful about our humanness and connecting as humans. Video is really great. Now, obviously, they're getting to the point where you can have AI create a video that looks almost identical to the genuine person. It's kind of a little bit glitchy still at the moment, but you can perceive it eventually to be near perfect. That's going to be challenging times because we really want to engage with the authentic, real person. And they people come with faults like I'm speaking and I'm saying ums and ahs and all that kind of stuff. But it's genuinely me. It's me speaking to the audience and yourself. And there's something powerful about that human connection that I think we're at risk of losing. And there's trust already in marketing. So the more we can humanize our brands, I think is an important thing. Having your own photographs, for example, if you're running a small business, feature your photographs in your personal profiles. Also, we're working with lots of construction businesses, which typically are led by men. But if they're a small business, they might be a couple. If you've got a wife and she's involved in the business too, you should have the photograph of both of you as a happy couple because oftentimes it might be a lady making a buying decision as well. So they'll naturally relate better to the other ladies as well, typically. So just involving human aspects, photographs, bio of each person in the team, anything that can humanize the brand is really important to build that trust factor. But yeah, third party endorsements, video reviews, testimonials, are all really important.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And then tell me, like, what are you building now with Uplift 360? That you focus on, no nonsense strategy. Tell me what are you doing now?
Yeah, so the search everywhere optimization is being a really important thing. We've done SEO for many years, and it became a bit of a challenge because what happened, we were getting improvement each month, more traffic. So you track the set of keywords that a client wanted to rank for, and you'd see where they're ranking on Google, and you'd see the traffic improving, and as a result, the more leads and sales. When Google introduced the AI overview, for example, then a whole bunch less traffic was coming to websites. So it became more difficult to show the value because people are getting their answers before they even visit the website now. So we had to shift the focus a little bit to search everywhere optimization and figure out, okay, how are we going to help clients show up in a conversation on the large language models and moving more and more into that space. The good news is a lot of the principles and practices we used for old school SEO to rank in Google are now helping our clients show up in ChatGPT and the like. So that's what we're really focused on, um, serving clients in that new space to show up where they need to be found in the large language models.
I love it. It's about showing up and being seen and heard, as they say, right? So I love it. I love it. Where I'm sorry, before I get into the final question, what advice would you have business owners, whether it's construction or not, who want to grow online without spending a lot of money on ineffective marketing? I know it's a tough question, but tough question for last.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's the simple things are often the best. So that clarity of really clearly defining what your ideal client looks like, whether that be to, as I've done, to really niche in on a particular um, type of client, but you really need to understand precisely the types of people, whether it be in a specific niche industry, that if you're B2B, or if it's a particular type of person, you really need to understand exactly who they are, so you can speak directly to that person. So if you've got in your mind one person with one problem, and then you can solve that problem for that one person, then there's a whole range of people. So you have in mind that specific person. You get others by accident, but that clarity of understanding precisely who you're marketing to is the gold. So then you're getting your clear headline right. You can have the right proof and the process that matches that message. Everything sort of comes into alignment more easily. Obviously, you've got to get your tech right, your website built so it's fast loading and it's designed so everything's in the right places, all that stuff. But that comes off the back of really understanding what you're trying to communicate. So you can structure your website in a way that your message sings. The design should be secondary to the message, realistically.
I love it. I love it, man. It's all about. I agree with you 100%. All about having, understanding your avatar, understanding your persona, and then based off that persona, build content and stuff around that to attract that persona to your website, landing page, event, etc. Right? I love it.
Yeah.
So, our time is up. We're almost at a 30-minute mark. So I appreciate our time today, brother. Where can people find more information about you and or your organization?
Uplift360.com.au is our website, and you'll from there you'll find all the socials and even my personal LinkedIn, which I'll connect with anyone on LinkedIn. If people are super keen, you can also book meetings with me as well on the website. But yeah, social media is probably the first easy one to connect with.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Wes Towers. Thank you so much for your time today, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dr. B. I've really enjoyed it.
Wes Towers, everybody. Hi, everybody. Dr. B here, Dr. B Uncensored. Hopefully, you enjoyed that episode. Remember, you are one big deal away. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel now. Take care.